Welcome to the Friday YouTube devotional here at Huguenot Road Baptist Church. I'm Bob Lee, and thank you so very much for spending some of your time with me today. It's Friday, June 13th, 2025, and today we're going to be talking about times that we are in between places. Those wilderness moments where you might be between a decision or a job or education, whatever that might be. I think back of when I graduated from college, I had actually, some of you may not know this, but I had actually, all intents and purposes, wanted to go to law school. During college, I was a political science major, and I wanted nothing more than to go to law school and to practice law. Unfortunately, I did not score high enough on the LSATs and got rejected from every law school I applied to, every single one. I got those skinny letters in the mail. Back then we didn't have emails, so they just sent you a letter. And I was heartbroken. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't have a plan B. So I moved home with my mom and stepdad and actually worked on a friend of theirs' farm and did manual labor, pulling weeds, whatever they needed me to do. But it was one of those in-between times. And later on that year, I was hired by an insurance company and began, to go that direction. But it was definitely an in-between place for me. And so you can think of what that might, be like for you. We haven't arrived where we want to be or where we believe God desires that we are supposed to be. A passage that we can think of here is Exodus chapter 14, verse 14, where the Israelites were being led by Moses to cross the Red Sea and to go to Canaan, to begin the journey of to dwell in the land of milk and honey that God had been promising them. So the Israelites knew what this in-between time or this wilderness time was like. They had left Egypt, and they find themselves between Pharaoh's army and the Red Sea. And they were afraid for their lives, and we can understand why. We would be too. And in their time of panic, Moses, their leader, said something extraordinary. He said, "The Lord will fight for you. You only need to be still." Exodus 14:14. You need to, the Lord will fight for you. You only need to be still. Reminds me of Psalm 46:10, where the psalmist writes, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness, when we are still, doesn't mean we're surrendering to fear. We might still be afraid, but it means becoming spiritually alert, tuned in, listening, watching, waiting on what God is doing in and around our situation. And in that waiting, or in that in-between time, that stillness, we do two things. First, we guard our hearts. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart. It is the wellspring of life. Everything you do flows from it." So we need to guard our hearts. In times of uncertainty, guard our hearts from anxiety, from bitterness, or haste. Like we don't want to make decisions too quickly that we would regret. So all of these things are ways we can guard our hearts. And then secondly, we, as a friend of mine says, steel up. S-T-E-E-L, steel up. Ephesians 6 says that we are to, Paul writes in Ephesians 6, says we are to take up the full armor of God. We are not to hide from the battle, but to stand firm in it. The belt of truth, the best breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, and also feet outfitted with the shoes of the gospel of peace. All of this, each piece reminds us that we are in a battle of some sort. And as we are steeling up, We are trusting in God's presence and God's power, and that the battle is the Lord's, that we are standing in his strength. So if you're in a season of transition or maybe tension or stress, challenge, let me remind you to be still, to guard your heart, steel up. God is with you. He has not abandoned you. He is preparing you a way through. The Lord will fight for you. Remember that today and in these days ahead. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching and listening. I hope you have a great day. Look forward to seeing you soon. God bless.